Welcome to this week's edition of Morning Line, the USTA's weekly news magazine. I'm Paul Ramlow.
And I'm Allison Conte.
Father Patrick, who was a division champion at ages 2 and 3, made his 4-year-old debut a winning one by capturing this past Sunday's $150,000 Maxie Lee Memorial Invitational at Harrah's, Philadelphia by 2 lengths over Be a Magician in 1:52 and 1. Father Patrick's time equaled the track record for a 4-year-old male trotter. Father Patrick and Be a Magician were among 4 horses to go for the lead on the first turn, and Father Patrick got to the front before the group neared the second turn. Be a Magician tried to launch a challenge coming off the final turn, but Father Patrick yielded no ground. Driver Yannick Gingras was pleased with Father Patrick's performance.
No doubt, and he did it so easy too. The air plugs are still in. I never really called on him. Let him trot the last eight. Obviously, Be a Magician got the right trip, but with those kind of fractions, maybe I get a little bit of a jump on her. But she's a great horse, and I was definitely worried around the turn when Brian pulled. I knew she'd give me a run, but he just showed what kind of horse he is.
In addition to preparing for his racing campaign, Father Patrick has been doing stud duty at Diamond Creek Farm of Pennsylvania. In fact, he made 3 trips to the breeding farm in the week leading up to the Maxie Lee. Trainer Jimmy Takter shared his thoughts about whether breeding and racing could work for all horses.
Well, it's individuals.
Yeah.
And, I know horses that won't go at all. That when you start breeding them, they're losing totally interest about racing. And, in his case, it hasn't been negative.
Right.
So, it was something I thought about it, and I told Adam about it, and he thought it was a great idea. So, all the partners agreed on it.
And this week, we're looking ahead and overseas to Sunday's Elitloppet at Solvalla Racetrack in Sweden. This year, North America has 2 representatives in Jimmy Takter trained Maven and Daryl Beer's Wind of the North, plus one of last year's sophomore sensations, Kentucky Futurity and Yonkers Trot champion, Nuncio, who is now campaigning in the stable of Swedish owner Stefan Melander. Maven drew post position 4 in her elimination, while Nuncio and Wind of the North will compete in the other elimination from outside posts 7 and 8 respectively. The first 4 finishers in each elimination advance to the same day final. Heading over to drive Wind of the North is one of Beer's good friends and harness racing's all-time winningest driver, Dave Palone.
It's a lot of positioning early, and then it's just kind of wait and find a good spot. I found out the hard way the first few days that the place to be wasn't along the fence. It's a little tough to find your way through, but by the end of the trip, we were doing great and had adapted, and I don't foresee it being any problem. Being a 5/8 mile track, I'm so comfortable there. So this would be maybe the biggest win I've ever had. We were lucky enough a few years ago to win the jug with a buddy of mine's horse, Kelly O'Donnell, and it's the same scenario. I've been friends with Daryl forever, friends with his father, Arthur. We lost Modern Family, we've got history there. He lost that horse. I just felt so bad for him, and I just couldn't think of anything that would make me happier than to win for these guys. Charlie Dombeck, they're just nice people, and it was nice of them to show enough confidence in me to send me over there to drive, so I would cherish a big day in the Elitloppet.
The post position draw for this Friday's $150,000 Molson Pace at the Raceway at Western Fair District was conducted this past Monday evening in London during the track's pregame show. 2-time defending champion state treasurer will start from the trailing post 8 behind recent Confederation Cup winner All Bets Off, who drew the coveted rail position. All Bets Off will be handled by Matt Kakali, while Chris Christoforou will once again be up behind state treasurer. Among the other starters are 2013 New Jersey Classic champion Lucan Hanover, 2014 Levy Series winner PH Supercam, and 2015 Little Brown Jug Elimination victor Let's Drink on It. The Molson Pace will go as the final race on this Friday night's 12-race program at the London Oval. The powerful undercard will feature Ontario Sire Stakes Gold divisions, a quartet of City of London Series finals, and classes for preferred pacers. For more details on this year's event, visit www.molsonpace.com.
And this week, we're not asking you to sound off on social, but Hoosier Park is. This Saturday, they've got an exciting matchup in the Indiana Sire Stakes final for 3-year-old male pacers between undefeated Wiggle It Jiggle It and Freaky Feet Pete, who has won 10 of 11 lifetime starts. Both standout pacers have gone untested, handily dominating their competition to this point. Hoosier Park wants to know, who are you rooting for? Let us know who and why with these hashtags, and you could win some swag.
This week's edition of Paul's Paddock Pics takes a look at Saturday's Art Rooney Pace at Yonkers Raceway. In the Arsenal and Son of a Sizzle were the two elimination winners last week, and trainer Kelvin Harrison's In the Arsenal had the better luck at Tuesday's open draw by landing post position 2. Unfortunately for Son of a Sizzle, he drew the outside post 8. In the Arsenal first gained prominence at Yonkers last summer by winning the Lawrence B. Shepherd, the Raceway's premier event for 2-year-old pacing colts and geldings. I think he will add the Art Rooney Trophy this week as well. Brian Sears has the call in the sulky. For place, I'm going with Rock and Roll World. The Mark Silva trainee missed by just a head to end the Arsenal in last week's elimination and has the rail post position on Saturday. Dan Dubé will be in the bike. George Brennan picks up the driving assignment on Son of a Sizzle this week for trainer Josh Green. Sears drove the Son of Life Sizzles a week ago, but will stay within the Arsenal. Despite the poor draw, I think Brennan will get Son of a Sizzle into the action and will finish third at the wire. So once again, I'm going with In the Arsenal to win, Rock and Roll World to place, and Son of a Sizzle to show.
Want to win a trip to this year's Adios? Here's your chance. Check out US Trotting on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and give us your most creative caption for this photo of last year's Adios champion McWicked. We're going to pick our 3 favorites and send out a deck of Harness Heroes cards to each of them. One of those decks will include an autographed Dave Palone card and this silver ticket, which means a chance at the grand prize, an Adios Day trip.
That'll do it for this week's edition of Morning Line. Thanks for joining us, and tune in next week for all your behind-the-scenes harness racing action,
including a preview of the Charlie Hill Memorial at Scioto Downs. We'll see you next week on the Morning Line.